pageant system will not go on because she doesn't want to acknowledge that a woman can also be a biological man dressed up in a dress. Roll the clip.
I used to look up to Miss America because they empowered women, but now it's really disappointing to see that they've abandoned such a common sense truth, and that is that a man is a man and that a woman is a woman. And disappointed in the Miss America organization, but I'm really hoping that they get back on track and return to truth.
So they said Miss America pageant did it. She can keep the crown. She just can't move forward because she refuses to sign that ridiculous contract. I don't blame her. Good for standing up to your beliefs. Look, that's Miss America anyway. You don't want any part of that. As Donald Trump said when he owned the Miss USA pageant, Miss America is the girl next door. Miss USA, on the other hand, is the girl you wished lived next door.
Live from Studio 6B on Real America's Voice.
All right, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice, 8 o'clock on the East Coast, February 4th. Glad you're in, everybody. Lots to talk about tonight. Hope you had a great day. Slick Rick's here. He's going to do some sports. Rick Delgado's got some headlines. Paul and Nolan is here. He's got some news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Slickster, how are you?
I'm doing good, Big D.
How was your day?
Very good. Busy, long day, but good. Good, productive day.
What did you do?
Well, I had a big meeting this morning with 50 other chambers of commerce on Long Island.
give a special hello to Terry and his beautiful wife that are watching us tonight. We hope to be talking to you again soon. Harry and I had a call with Terry, one of our viewers, and it was very productive. And I just wanted to say thanks, man, for the time. But it's been a good week. I was in the city today. I got myself back. I did 8 rounds of boxing. I got changed. I put on a suit, and here I am.
You decompressed, and now you're here, ready to go.
A lot of decompression. So,
anything on your news radar that we'll be touching on later on?
I have so many things. There's an interesting survey came out via TMZ on the viewership of this whole Super Bowl thing that might really surprise you. So I want to talk about that and Trump and the Palm Beach authorities. There's a lot of things to unpack with that story as well.
All right, very good. So we'll be doing that throughout the show. But I'd be remiss if I didn't go to the low-hanging fruit of the day, which has been the story that's really just kind of engulfed the entire country since it broke on Sunday and Monday. Is the missing Savannah Guthrie mom story of Nancy Guthrie, the case that continues to unfold. Big stuff unfolded today. And then just before showtime, another big headline broke from that. Let's just get right to what has unfolded so far. So basically, I don't know if you've seen it. You probably have at this point. But the FBI went into, I guess, use some of those secret things that they have and put together some video that was from this Ring doorbell. I guess it wasn't Ring, it was Nest, which is another company that basically does the same thing that Ring does. Well, all these cameras, and I didn't realize this happened. I learned it from watching some of the coverage, is that even when you stop paying for the service, like they charge you a flat rate for the year. I remember when I did it with Ring, back when I first did it was like $100 for the year, and it records everything. Right. And anytime there's movement, the camera picks it up, it records it on a hard drive, and you're able to access that at any time you want. It comes up on your list, and you go, oh, who was here at 8:30? And you have a video of that. Right. Unfortunately, like what happened with the Nancy Guthrie situation at her house, they didn't pay for the service to continue. What I didn't realize is that the company continues to record things and stores it all up in the cloud. Wow. But it's not exactly, and the way one investigator put it, he says it's not exactly in order. So you're going to have to go in there. The FBI has the people that do this. They can go in there and start piecing together those pieces of data. They just need a starting point. And then they can kind of piece it together, find all those pieces and recreate video that was recorded during certain times. You just have to have a specific time that they can aim at and then start to build upon that, which is kind of interesting. I didn't realize you could do that. That could complicate.
Well, it was pretty surprising they didn't have any of that.
Complicate a lot of things in people's lives. I'll tell you that much.
But it was surprising they didn't have any video from anyone else's cameras. Like, everyone's got these cameras at the doorbells now or around their house. And that's part of the biggest surprise I've seen with this entire story is the lack of it. But it sounds like there's some movement here. Do you have any breaking news on that?
Yeah, there's more breaking news. Let me show you the video. Do we have the video, Aaron? I don't have a cut number for it. It just says mask. Here it is. So this is, believe it or not, this is the video that they were able to kind of recreate from all the digital information that was sent up by that camera. So you see the guy kind of walks up. He's covered up. He's got a full backpack, which is odd for somebody who's the
whole getup is odd.
Yeah, the whole getup is odd. He's got double gloves. He's got, and somebody pointed this out because he is armed. He's got a gun seated right over his over the center of his. I guess over his crotch, I'd say. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Yeah. It's called a Mexican. It's called a Mexican position when they holster in front. I guess because when the banditos have the rifles across their back. Oh boy, they can't. If they
Here
go
comes
to reach,
the explanation.
If they go to reach, for the gun,
his history.
Well, if they go to reach for the gun and it's on the side, their arm's gonna hit the rifle, right?
Oh, right.
So they want it front loaded so they can just reach and grab. I learned this, believe it or not, from Three Amigos. Hello.
This moment in Mexican history brought to you by Fritos corn chips with Rick Delgado, everybody.
So
the original Frito Bandito.
But what they take away from that, they already determined how tall the guy is. I guess he's around 5'9", 5'10". They already have his weight kind of determined. They have the fact that he's the way he holds the gun. They've got his eyes. They've got his manicured eyebrows. They've got his.
Yeah,
I guess
heard about the
suspected
manicured
goatee.
eyebrows. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all this stuff from most video, we'd look at it and be like, I don't know who that is. But after a while, people who will see that video might recognize that person.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
might recognize certain things about that person.
It's a good shot.
That was interesting. That broke this morning. And as a matter of fact, here is Caroline Levitt. She had met with the president, and they reviewed this footage. I guess they got a copy of it as well. Here's cut number 7. Here's what the press secretary, Caroline Levitt, had to say upon the video release with President Trump. Check this out.
I apologize for the delay. I was once again with the president. He and I were both reviewing the newly released surveillance footage from FBI in the Savannah Guthrie case on just this heartbreaking situation with respect to her mother. The president encourages any American across the country with any knowledge of this suspect to please call the FBI, who continue to assist state and local authorities who are leading this investigation on the ground. And once again, I will reiterate that the prayers of this entire White House are with Savannah and her family at this time. And we hope this person is found soon and that her mother is brought home safely.
Yeah, and between that, the video that they've been able to recreate, that's got to just open up so many doors in terms of where they think this investigation is going to go.
I think they're further along than they're letting on right now.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Always, yeah, always.
The retinal scans, all those things.
Right.
I don't know. They have very sophisticated equipment now that can really, you were talking about the Nest and all those technologies. Yeah. I have one of those, and we get alerts that say cat in front house or deer or a person just walk, not like just motion,
right?
Like it's identifying things. The capability of these cameras now are unbelievable. They're using AI, they're using all that stuff. So I bet you a lot of that stuff's coming together here with what the FBI is doing.
And I'm glad you mentioned AI, because according to, and again, this is coming from people within the FBI, the spokespeople or some of the ex-people that worked there and knew the technology, said they can actually use AI now to kind of discern what the face underneath that mask looks like based on what they can see. Oh. And the bumps, that they can kind of pull out from the mask.
And all that.
Yeah. So it's they could probably render up a pretty close profile of what this guy actually looks like. And then, as Slick pointed out, he said, breaking news just before we came on air 22 minutes ago, activity spotted in Bitcoin account tied to Nancy Guthrie case. This coming from TMZ. Harvey Levin claimed that within the last 15 minutes, TMZ has seen activity in the account mentioned in the original ransom note for Nancy Guthrie. When asked by CNN what kind of activity was spotted, Levin said, that's what I can't talk about. So there's some activity with that. And it's odd that, the way things are going and nobody's talking about the deadline that passed 24 hours ago.
Right. Well, if there's money moving, something has to be happening, because the money is not just going to move without proof that she's alive, right? Why would you send money if they can't even prove that?
If they're sending money, yeah.
Right, if they are.
Or if the person that owns it is doing something to try to mask it. Like he didn't say what activity.
Yeah.
They just said activity.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those whodunits. We all put on our Columbo jackets.
Like a game
one more question, sir.
The old game of Clue, right?
Yeah.
Who did it?
Exactly.
Colonel Mustard with the candlestick.
It's an old-fashioned game of Clue. Who did it? And I think that's what probably has people riveted as much as ourselves. I mean, everybody wants to be the one that cracked the case.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's probably going to be somebody within the law enforcement community who's going to do it. And it also serves to notice that they keep asking for people if they have any information to reach out to them. In other words, I feel like there's more out there. Like you've said, Vin, they've got probably more than they're letting on, but they're hoping somebody else.
I felt that way
comes
all
in and
along.
Kind of helps put the pieces together for them. Yep. So interesting stuff breaking in the Nancy Guthrie case. If anything more develops throughout the evening, of course, being live, we'll be able to do it. That's one of the advantages of doing the show tonight.
Thank you.
Reach out to us via the chat. Join us in the chat live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll do some sports, do some news with Vin. We just need you guys to stay there.
America. My father just changed 401ks forever by initiating the process that will allow gold into 401ks. But here's even better news. You don't need to wait for your 401k provider. You can use this strategy today. With a self-directed gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group, you can convert your IRA or 401k into an account with all the same tax benefits, but you own something that will be there when you need it. To find out more, click the link below to get a free info kit on gold IRAs from my trusted friends at the Birch Gold Group. Inside, they will show you exactly how to diversify your IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. Do it now before the rest of America jumps in. Click below for your free info kit.
How many times have you tried to clean a stubborn mess but end up with no success? What you need is the all-new waterproof Ruby Horsepower, the new cordless and rechargeable power scrubber that cleans faster and easier, guaranteed. Watch, baked on oven grease is no match. It blasts away dirt and grime in no time. The power comes from our rotating brushes, spinning at 350 RPM. The incredible torque fights calcium, mildew, mold, and more. Take it in the kitchen where it busts through caked-on crud, or outside and tackle tough tasks with ease. Get your Ruby Horsepower with 4 additional attachments, all for just $39.99. Great news! They're in stock and ready to ship. Due to high demand, only 2 per order. Order now.
Call 1-800-944-4512. That's 1-800-944-4512, or visit horsepowerscrubber.com. So call 1-800-944-4512 now.
All right, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Tuesday night. We appreciate you joining us on a Tuesday. Remember, Damon is out. He is out taking care of family. You know what it's about. So wish his dad and his family all the best as they tackle this next part of the recovery. In the meantime, Slick Rick is here. He definitely has sports. Vinnie Mac, we got a story we're going to get to with him in just a little bit. But let's lighten the mood, shall we? We got a little diaper diplomacy.
I love it.
Please don't interrupt me as Ted Cruz clashes with Citizen President Robert Wiseman. Check this out. Diaper diplomacy.
Do you believe elected politicians in Minnesota who were aware of this fraud and were complicit in it should be prosecuted? Should there be accountability?
There absolutely should be accountability. It is not normal to prosecute government officials for not prosecuting fraud. That is not a standard I'm aware of that you've advocated or that anyone else has advocated in the Senate.
So do you think it's perfectly okay?
I did not say
if let's say Governor Walz or Attorney General Ellison knew about the fraud, benefited from the fraud in terms of bundling votes, benefited from the frauds in terms of collecting campaign finance violations, and deliberately looked the other way. You think that's not criminal conduct?
In that hypothetical, it is not okay. 100% not okay. But also, if you'll permit me, that hypothetical is in fact happening throughout.
Okay, yes, I get it. You dislike Trump. I understand you dislike Trump, sir.
It is whether I have a standard of accountability.
So let me sir, please do not interrupt me. Please do not.
I'm being clear.
Please do not interrupt me. Please do not interrupt me.
Answering, sir.
You may answer questions after I ask them.
That's great. That's beautiful.
You've heard the evidence and testimony about daycare centers with no children, with no toys, with no facilities, with windows that are blacked out. Do you believe it is possible that the officials sending millions of dollars to those fake daycare centers and fake autism centers didn't know what was going on?
Well, what I heard was claims about that, and I too have watched the video. We're both parents. I'm glad that the child care centers don't open their door for someone who's knocking there. I don't view that as evidence that the child care centers are fake child care centers, although I'm sure there are some. My understanding is that state investigators have gone to do their duty at those exact same child centers and have found that most of them actually are operating correctly.
Ted Cruz
the
child
Ted Cruz baby, yes.
Amazing,
and so did the Tim Walz baby.
Yeah, that was great.
Just amazing. Good
Classic.
stuff. Good stuff by the people over there at Diaper Diplomacy.
To be continued for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, like I mentioned, there is more activity going on regarding this. Not Annie Guthrie.
Nancy.
That is the daughter. Nancy Guthrie is the 84-year-old missing mother of NBC Today co-host Savannah Guthrie and Annie Guthrie, who's the other daughter, who is Savannah's sister. Well, according to this, law enforcement officials and officers were seen searching near Annie Guthrie's home as the investigation into the disappearance of her mom continues. 4 agents were seen on foot conducting what appeared to be a systematic sweep of the area, which is odd when you consider that's not exactly where they thought the crime happened. The agents spent time combing through the low-lying desert brush before moving to the edge of the larger residential lot. A man on one property greeted the agents and allowed them access to his backyard to continue the search as well. Investigators previously carried out searches in other areas as they worked to determine what happened. And again, this is the neighborhood of the other daughter, Savannah Guthrie's sister, the daughter of Nancy Guthrie, Annie Guthrie. Her neighborhood is now being paroled by SWAT. They've also rolled in.
Think about this for a second. We've heard speculation about the brother-in-law, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
They find an image make into a video of someone that came to the house.
Yes.
They find that video and image.
Yes.
And now they're sweeping the sister's house.
Yes.
Think about that. Is that guy in the mask the brother-in-law? Are his eyebrows look like that?
I don't think so. They did point out that he does have a somewhat, and again, this is just speculation. Somebody pointed it out. Okay. I didn't come up with this because I don't know anything about the son-in-law, his band that he put together, and the drummer. I guess the drummer or some member of the band that looks like this guy.
Oh, you kidding?
That's again speculation. I'm not going to go there because, like I said, I don't know anything about the guy and his band. It's just what I keep seeing popping up,
but one
and people making that connection.
1+1, there's a video, and now they're back to this house. I have to say that is pretty telling. Don't want to speculate, but it's pretty telling. One point I wanted to make on this whole case, and it's a positive comment about our president. Samantha Guthrie was vehemently against Donald Trump winning any election. She destroyed him. So did her mother. What does Donald Trump do? He tells her, whatever you need, any resource you need, I'm going to allocate to help find your mother.
Yeah.
Yep.
And look what happened.
I saw that.
Within a few days.
Well, it's certainly making a difference.
I took 3 days for the FBI to finally be invited in and to get involved. And now they've been able to put together this video out of nothing in the cloud. Yeah. Which is amazing work when you consider they're like, well, we got nothing.
But he could have easily just said, you know what? Let the police do their thing. You trashed me. Right. Your mom hates me. But he didn't.
No.
He did not. He said, what can I do for you? You know, that's the president.
Yeah.
That's the bad rap this guy gets.
Yeah.
When he does great things.
That's the man he is.
That's the man he is.
That's the man he is.
Well said.
If you take a look at the screen, that's footage from a little bit earlier in the day, I guess an hour or so earlier. Again, they're sweeping that entire area now.
Wow.
And it's kind of an odd place to look when that's not where, quote unquote, the crime happened. The disappearance
they're
happened.
Going door to door in the neighborhood and talking to anyone who's home.
Yeah.
FBI and the sheriff.
Yeah, they must feel something's hot right in this area. It's got to be.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll be following that story. Amazing.
Wow. This is something else.
Amazing turn of events.
I just hope they find that mom. That would make.
Please just have her alive.
Yeah.
There's no need to kill anybody.
No.
If you want to make a crime, you don't need to kill the person. You're going to go to jail anyhow. You know,
for a kidnap, this has gone on too long without any photos of the mom, without any kind of conversation. Right. Usually, there's a videotape or something
and you know,
out there.
And again, I pointed this out last night. For it to be a kidnapping, you would think, you know what? You would have thought maybe they would have had the note there within the first few hours.
That's what everybody's saying. Like,
but it took a couple days.
Yeah, a couple of days without proof.
It was almost like, well, we're not even sure if this is from those people. And I guess one of the ransom notes was a fake that they determined kind of early on.
Didn't they catch the person that wrote it?
Yeah, they caught him in L.A.
Yeah.
So this whole story is just it's starting to really take an ugly look.
What deranged person takes advantage of a situation like this and sends a ransom note? You know, just think of the psychosis of somebody who thinks, yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, have some humanity, people.
Right. It's not like those people that are maybe a prince in some republic in Sudan and they need money and they send you an email. And if you send them $5,000, they'll send you 50,000.
Yeah.
It's not like that at all.
That's a good deal.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big investment.
Yeah. I did that years ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
How'd it work out?
Yeah, please. You see that thing coming from 8 miles away.
Is that how you get all those clothes?
Yes.
That's where he gets his clothes.
Wow. I sent all my money to Prussia.
All right,
so work out for you.
We'll keep you updated as the story continues to evolve. In the meantime, Vinnie Mac has some news. Vin, what do you got on your radar? I think it might have something to do with what we just saw on this weekend, doesn't it?
The Epstein stuff you talking about? Which one story you want me to cover?
I thought it was going to be Bad Bunny because you love that guy. I heard you were dancing and everything.
Man, have I been in battles with this whole Bad Bunny thing? And you know what I find happening. Tell me if this happened to you guys too on your social media or anyone from the left. They're taking this moral high ground that says the only reason the TPA USA did an alternative one was because they wanted white people, so they bring racism into it.
Right away.
Christianity, all of these things. So I'm getting bombarded by people and everybody out there who's on my Facebook knows because they see it. They complain about all my idiot friends, liberal friends out there who are constantly bitching about whatever I have to say. But my response to them is pretty simple. It's like, look, you're doing what you normally do as the left, which is to judge and characterize us on the right as either racist or some bad thing. Nazi. The reality is, I never heard of Bad Bunny, really. I don't listen to his music. It's not something I would listen to. I wouldn't listen to music that was all in Spanish anyhow. Maybe Julio Iglesias. Hey, put Julio Iglesias up there. He'll sing in English and Spanish. I love Julio Iglesias.
To all the girls I loved before.
Exactly. Exactly. And may I say I am the best.
Okay, don't do that.
Okay, there we go. But I'm making a point about this, and the point is that the audience for the Super Bowl is so broad that they brought in an artist that's popular with a very, very core market. Immensely popular, by the way. I mean, the guy is huge within that millennial market. He sings in Spanish, and they put him on there. And my point to everybody is, I just don't care for that. That's not my thing. Like, I had no interest in watching that. So thank goodness TPUSA said, you know what? There's a whole big market and amount of people watching the Super Bowl halftime show that want to listen to, different music or more mainstream music or music they can relate to. So we're going to put that show on. That's it. Period. Stop. This isn't about racism.
We're entitled.
We're more than entitled to do that. And they're dissing Kid Rock all over the place. Like, all of a sudden he's, quoting the Bible or he's quoting Jesus and all this stuff. And I was going back and forth with this one guy who's been quite abusive on this thing. And I said, look, some of the greatest people in faith ever had really evil or bad times prior to that. And they found God and changed their life. You ever happen to think that maybe that's what happened to this guy? I mean, Kid Rock was a rock star.
Sure.
Yeah. He was partying. He was doing drugs. He was a wild man.
Saved his life.
And maybe, just maybe, religion saved this guy's life. Yeah. And he expressed that. What's wrong with that? These are my points I'm trying to make. And I just don't understand the lack of logic.
And last night we looked on Billboard. He was #1.
Yeah. And last night, now here's a stat. Here's a very interesting thing. TMZ did this poll. 393,000 people responded. Only 35% of them thought that Bad Bunny had a great halftime show. 64.5% said Kid Rock. The show was better. Now, this is from a liberal group, this TMZ.
Where's the source? Yeah.
Based in Hollywood.
TMZ, it's not from, Fox or Real America's Voice or Newsmax or any of that stuff. But that's very telling.
Yeah.
What people said.
That is very telling.
And the show was in Spanish. Wait, what are we talking about
and
here?
The language, from what I understand, the interpretation of it was quite the
that's coming out now.
It's pretty vulgar.
Yeah.
People are like, Kid Rock's lyrics. You know what he says in his songs? All these bad things.
Paul's going to do a reading tomorrow night.
Well, he should. Because the lyrics, Bad Bunny's lyrics, are hardcore.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
Very sexual, very graphically sexual. Yeah. It's as if Bob Guccione was feeding him lyrics, and going for that. Thank you. A little Penthouse association.
Yes,
right. Okay,
Larry
I
Flint.
did not know that.
Yeah.
Anyhow, it's all ridiculous. We just wanted to see a different entertainment. That's all.
And it turned out to be
And
good.
again, it bears pointing out 1992 Super Bowl Winter Magic, an ode to the Winter Olympics, featuring Brian Boitano and Dorothy Hamill, set to the music of Gloria Estefan. Now you know why people tuned over and watched the In Living Color broadcast.
2 snaps up in a Z style.
Yeah, because that was garbage, and I think this is going to probably be an inflection point where NFL goes, you know what, that was kind of garbage. Can we get back to
I don't know if
cool?
they will.
Right. So we'll see. All right. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, more sports and more news live from Studio 6B. Real America's Voice on a Tuesday night. Stay down.
maybe she gets out early on good behavior and does a humongous book deal and probably ends up committing suicide by getting shot in the back of the head 5 times. Because this thing goes very deep, and the people involved in it are very powerful.
Yeah. So there was Tim Burchett giving his honest assessment of what he thinks her future holds.
Clinton murder.
We'll dive more into what else came out with the Epstein files coming up in hour number 2, putting a wraps on a quick hour number 1 on a Tuesday night. Thank you for joining us. Everybody in the chats, we'll jump in just a few moments. If you're at home, hang out. No clicking. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we got more sports, more news with Vinnie Mac. I've got this Epstein thing we're going to roll out, and more with you guys. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Tuesday night. Stay there.
guy, only one person that actually cooperated with authorities and turned this guy in, and it's the President of the United States. There's only one guy that threw him out of his resort. It's the President of the United States. I didn't see anyone else turn him in. You see anyone else?
Nope.
No one from the Bush administration, Obama administration, Biden administration, but Donald Trump did.
Yeah.
And it's on tape.
Yeah, multiple
They've
times.
recorded conversation.
Right.
We should unpack that after the break.
Yeah, we'll do that after the break. And again, there's a clip that we play plenty of times where the reporter's asking the prosecutor, one of the attorneys for the victims, saying, Donald Trump was the only one who stepped up and helped us. He gave us names. He gave us information that ended up working out for their case. Yeah. And this is a cut from a reporter interviewing that attorney like in 2009. So there's plenty out there. It's just Democrats keep trying to sully the president with fake news because that's all they've got. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue this. We'll play that clip that ABC played, exonerating the president, basically, and more sports. Maybe we'll see some ice sweeping with the Olympic coverage.
I like ice sweeping.
I like ice sweeping.
Paint the fence.
Sweep the ice. Sweep the ice, Lawrence. Got a problem with that? All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back. Stay there.
Learn how to move your IRA or 401k into physical gold. So click below to claim your free copy of my Dispatches to Future Generations and Birch Gold's Info Kit today.
I'm a J6er. I spent 1,143 days in prison.
About a year in prison.
We were prosecuted, persecuted.
J6ers have been treated like terrorists.
And we need your help.
Stand in the Gap was founded to stand in the gap for J6ers working to rebuild their lives after being incarcerated.
For just $10 or more, you can help these patriots get back on their feet again. Go now to j6support.com and donate today.
Oh, slick, it sounds like the blues, don't it? Oh, man. Get that boy a lozenge.
Sounds like the Luke.
Sounds like a Luke. Hey, everyday Americans are making choices that shape our country's future, right down to which cell phone provider they're going to support. Here's what most people don't realize. Patriot Mobile isn't just a wireless provider. No, they're more than that. They're an activist organization funded by selling top-tier cell phone service. They've been on the front lines defending our freedoms long before it was cool, standing in the gap when others wouldn't. The best part is they've delivered on their prioritized premium service at all 3 major U.S. networks, giving you the same or even better coverage backed by 100% U.S.-based customer service. Get unlimited data plans, mobile hotspots, international roaming, and a whole lot more with Patriot Mobile. And when you switch to Patriot Mobile, you'll help grow a movement that fuels a conservative Christian conservative cause. Every bill you pay helps advance the values of faith, family, and freedom. So switching is easier than ever. Make sure you give it a shot. Activate in minutes. Keep your number. Keep your phone. You can upgrade. You can take a stand today as well by going to patriotmobile.com/RAV or call 972-PATRIOT. Use the promo code RAV for a free month of service by going to patriotmobile.com/RAV or call 972-PATRIOT. Make that switch today. patriotmobile.com. Make sure you give them a call, 972-PATRIOT, and make the switch today to Patriot Mobile. All right, we were just doing some news regarding the Epstein files and how it's just a disgusting story that just never ends.
Yep.
You know, I wanted to make a Maxwell comment. Okay?
The Ghislaine Maxwell comment?
On Ghislaine Maxwell. It's another little Facebook battle I had, by the way, just so you know on this. And here's the Facebook battle. Well, no wonder she's not talking. Trump's going to pardon her. Like they somehow know,
right,
psychically, or perhaps they're deeply involved with the Trump administration and got some inside information that he's going to pardon her. This is their narrative. She's not just taking the Fifth to protect herself.
Right. Now, is that the way the person that typed that and put that in your Facebook? Is that the way that person sounds? Or
yeah, pretty much. Okay. I was just doing it in person. Yeah.
Sound like
Adrian!
Jiffy Jeff. Huh?
Yeah, just
kind of sounds like a knuckle dragger.
Sounds like Jiffy Jeff from the boxing, from the old comedian.
But they can't just take the information for what it is. It has to be Trump is doing something here.
Right. Well,
something.
That's because they're infected with TDS, and you know we used to just make fun of it. But it's a real thing.
Oh, it's real.
Psychologists are now like breaking down. It's
Look at the Bad Bunny thing.
Yeah, it's a real thing. These people, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what he does. He could save their life, and they'll still find something to hate him for.
Well, look at Samantha Guthrie. This is going to be very interesting. However, hopefully this ends without any loss of life.
Yeah.
I'd be really curious of how she actually thanks the president for putting all those resources behind finding her mother, which, you know, was a great thing to do. But that doesn't happen to everybody.
Right.
As a regular citizen, is he really going to have any awareness that there's something that happened in your family's life?
I'm sure there's plenty of people that have gone missing in the past week. Maybe have been kidnapped, unfortunately.
Well, think about how many children,
never going to hear about.
I mean, look at the children. How many children?
Look at all the kids that go missing.
I mean, that'd be a reason to jump on every one of those.
But speaking of President Trump, again, ABC, when you see CNN and ABC start running positive stories about Trump, you know it's because, well, we can't lie because there's no way we can spin this into a lie.
Yeah.
Here is cut number 4. Here's that story that ABC ran on President Trump, and pretty much dead on. They didn't try and spin it. They didn't try to preface it by saying, well, you know, he's a convicted this. Or blah, 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 blah. They just went with the story. Cut number 4. Check this out.
This morning, a new document coming to light claims in the mid-2000s, President Trump called police about Jeffrey Epstein. Among the 3 million Epstein files released by the Department of Justice last month is a 4-page FBI report on an interview the Bureau conducted in 2019 with a man believed to be former Palm Beach Police Chief Michael Ryder. Ryder and his detectives began investigating Epstein for human trafficking in 2004. According to the document, Trump called Ryder around that time and said, "Thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this." Ryder also says Trump said he threw Epstein out of his club, and he was around Epstein once when teenagers were present, and Trump got the hell out of there. The former police chief says Trump told him to focus on Epstein's associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, saying she is evil.
Did you have any suspicions that he was molesting young women, underage women?
I had no idea.
Trump has long denied having any knowledge of Epstein's crimes, but Reuters says Trump was one of the very first people to call when people found out that they were investigating Epstein.
Yeah. So an honest report from ABC, not trying to dilute the truth and spin it into anything else, but basically telling you the way it was. And it's a story that everybody's known that he kicked him out. Maybe he didn't do it physically. Maybe he didn't do it personally. He had his people do it because
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's still his club, and this dirtbag, this scumbag, isn't welcome here anymore.
And the left continually resorts to calling Trump a pedophile.
Right.
They continually say this, and I see that so many times on social media, and it just drives me crazy. I'm like, what proof do you have? Well, he's mentioned a lot in those files. Right. You know what he's mentioned about?
Right.
Them trying to figure out a way to get him on behalf of the Democrats. That's how he's mentioned.
And especially because in one email, Epstein specifically said he believes that Trump is the reason why he was arrested in the first place.
He wanted to get him.
Yeah.
Hey, that's true. Let the real truth come out here. And you folks on the left, I know nobody on the left is really watching this show, so forget it. But they're just...
Except for Doug.
They're just lying. Doug. Oh my God.
Your buddy Doug.
Doug just...
Is he okay?
Oh, jeez. I sent him that song that Natasha Owens came out with, The Boss. And I'm like, hey, man, you got to listen to this. We came out with this great song. By the way, you should still look for that song and download it because it is climbing the charts big time. But Doug, of course, didn't say, oh, that's funny. That's a good song. He had to come out with some obnoxious comment about how ice kills people. And I'm like,
that's what he took from the song.
That's what he took from it. I'm like... we grew up hanging out and drinking beers in the back of my friend's Camaro, listening to Bruce. Okay? When I was 17, 18, 19 years old, Born to Run, we were listening to that stuff in the back of the car. And so we love Bruce Springsteen, and he just totally disappointed us. He turned on us from his whole woke life. And there's Natasha Owens comes out. I think this is a great song, and it's funny, and it's good music, and all Doug can get out of it was that, ICE shot this woman who tried to run him over in the head. And I'm like, this is about a woke entertainer who we all revered for a while. Maybe you didn't love Bruce. Maybe you liked him, but he was popular.
Bruce. I've always hated Bruce, and now the fact that he looks like Megan Rapinoe, I hate him even more.
We got a point there.
Right?
He does look like Megan Rapinoe.
He looks terrible. He just looks like an old, angry, liberal white woman.
He does. Looks like Woody Allen too. Scan that QR code, by the way. Get on iTunes and see if you can get it, because we're trying to get this song to #1, and we're trying to get it to #1 for a reason, to show that we have some power out there as conservatives. We can do this. The record industry would never do this. Natasha Owens has been blackballed, blacklisted from the record industry because of her Christian songs and how she goes about music. And this is a great protest for us as conservatives.
Yeah, plus she can sing, and Bruce can't sing. He does
have a great voice.
Yeah, he sounds like a wood chipper. Nobody wants to hear a song by a wood chipper who looks like Megan Rapinoe, for crying out loud. He stinks. He's always stunk. And by the way, if Doug doesn't have a problem with that, maybe he wants to listen to "I'm on Fire" by Bruce Springsteen. Hey, little girl, is your daddy home? Hello. Yeah. Doug, you might want to throw that 45 in the trash.
Yeah, they have no clue. And Doug, you got no clue either, bro. Sorry.
Sorry, Doug. We had to bring you in.
He's got to come in for conversation one day.
Yeah. Just don't tell him where we live.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We come back. We got some fun for you. We got a live guest. Coming on to the show. We'll be talking to Dr. Joseph Clark. He's from Pure Health Research. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Stay there.
with no medical exam and same-day coverage.
Visit SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save.
Imagine this banana is a Byrna less lethal launcher, capable of shooting rock-hard kinetic and tear gas mixed with pepper chemical irritants.
The ammo can incapacitate an attacker from 60 feet away without causing death.
This Byrna less lethal launcher is legal in all 50 states. No permits required.
Over 600,000 Byrna pistol launchers have been sold to government agencies, law enforcement agencies, and to private citizens.
Do you want to know what the Byrna less lethal launcher looks like? Visit Byrna.com.
All right, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Tuesday night. Slick Rick has got some sports. We'll do some sports in just a little bit. Vinnie Mac's got some more news, and we've got some breaking news as well. Vin, you said something else just came across your wire there about someone being detained?
ABC in Tucson, Arizona is saying that someone is being detained. So I don't know what that someone is, but someone is being detained now and being questioned. So something may be breaking tonight. This thing sounds like it's going to be solved tonight.
It could be. All right, so we'll keep plugging away. We'll see if any other updates come across. We'll definitely let you know between now and the end of the show. But right now, from Pure Health Research, welcome to the program, Dr. Joseph Clark. He's a doctor of Oriental Medicine, professional of natural medicine. Dr. Clark, welcome to the program, and how are you tonight?
Thanks for having me. I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing well. How things going? What are you up to these days?
More than I can say in a short bit.
I'm sure it has to do with health because let's face it, none of us are getting any younger. You look great though. I gotta say, you look kind of young.
I'm only 70.
You're only 7. See, you're like Vin. Wow. Vin is only 87, and look at him. He looks great.
I was a former model. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
He used to model mannequins. Anyhow, as you know, of course, we're not getting any younger, Doctor. What are some of the things that maybe we can be doing, Dr. Clark here? That can help us kind of live healthier, live longer, and how can Pure Health Research help with that?
Well, everything that's been talked about since RFK took over, I think that's all good. Eating real food, not something that's synthetic and made, moving your body in an intelligent way, managing your stress, having a healthy relationship with your emotions, all these things work and help. And of course, because our food supply is depleted of nutrients and minerals, supplementing intelligently like you can do with Pure Health Research.
Right, and you work with the people over there, and they make some of these great health supplements. What can you tell us about those supplements?
Absolutely. So the first thing I love is Pure Health's commitment to quality. They only use premium natural ingredients in all their nutritional formulas. Every ingredient used is proven effective by clinical studies. So you're taking something that actually works as advertised. Their formulas are non-GMO. They don't use any artificial chemicals, fillers, or preservatives. They also manufacture their supplements right here in America, so you're getting top quality. They offer 45 different premium supplements that are crafted to support a wide range of health needs and wellness goals. It's like having a natural pharmacy right at your fingertips.
Right. Now, as a doctor of natural medicine, you've probably seen a bunch of things over the years.
You have no idea.
I mean, how does Pure Health Research stack up? It seems to be like that they seem to be coming to the front here.
Well, they do some things very, very well. So their 45 different products are all targeted to different functional issues, things that aren't functioning well. For instance, your liver. They have something called Liver Health Formula, which is a huge fan favorite. Mm-hmm. There's over 2 million bottles sold. And as its name implies, this formula supports thriving liver health. It could reduce fatty deposits in the liver, ignite metabolism, trim belly fat, and flush out harmful toxins to give you a nice boost in energy. All these things that kind of stop working as we would like them to work because we're not taking care of our bodies, they need more support. Like if you're starting getting swollen in your ankles and so forth, your lymph needs support. And they have a formula for that too. So anyone struggling from swelling or fluid retention in their extremities, especially their legs, ankles, or feet, they're going to love this natural formula. It flushes out that extra fluid to alleviate uncomfortable swelling or tightness. It could even restore more shapely legs. Lymph system support works by promoting a healthy lymphatic system, which helps flush out extra fluids, fats, and toxins. And the big thing going on right now is everybody is starting to renegotiate their relationship with sugar, at least the way they think about it, because sugar really is the devil. You know, I've given over 35,000 acupuncture treatments and treated thousands of people in my career. And sugar is the devil. The sugar will dysregulate your body and your brain and your emotions like nothing else. Nothing else that you take every day.
Right.
So as you can probably guess, blood sugar formula helps support healthy blood sugar levels. It could also reduce appetite and crush sugar cravings, making it easier to stay away from tempting treats. Maintaining healthy blood sugar has so many advantages, from dropping extra pounds to shrinking belly fat to boosting your energy levels. And of course, keeping your blood sugar in check can help keep your vision, kidneys, heart, and circulation healthy too. But remember, they have 45 different products, so everyone will find something they actually need for what's going on with them. Right. And the best part, for the next 48 hours only, you'll save 35% on your order with coupon code 6B when you shop at purehealthresearch.com.
That's great to know. So make sure you use our code 6B when you shop at purehealthresearch.com. You mentioned about the sugar because, again, yeah, you see it coming down from the administration. I'm hearing more people like, hey, why don't we have the, why don't we get rid of the high fructose corn syrup? Yeah, Coca-Cola version and go back to the sugar version. But meanwhile, like you said, sugar is the devil. Is it because of the inflammation? Is that what the sugar is really a cause of?
Well, sugar is like a very dirty burning fuel. Okay, it's the body burns it very quick. You get kind of a high from it. And then the dirty burn is sort of like the toxic effects. So the inflammatory effects, the difficulty with regulating energy because you have a spike and then you have a drop. And when that happens with the brain, and it happens over and over and over again, it leads to things like degeneration, brain degeneration, but also in other aspects of the body and your cells. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, until everything is dysregulated.
Right. Wow. Okay. So you're right. Sugar can be the devil. Hey, real quick, when you're talking about, and this will be my last kind of question on this, sure. When you're talking about, what you put in your mouth, because again, it's great that you can take supplements, but if you're eating wrong as well, that's got to be part of the equation, correct? I mean, let's face it. Anything you put in your mouth is going to be what's going to be distributed throughout your body, right?
Yeah, so when I speak with my patients and they come to me with problems and they've been to Mayo and they've been to Cleveland Clinic and then they show up at my door, I say to them, well, first things first, what you need to do is you have to look at what you're doing in terms of your habits and your behaviors. And you have to say, everything that I've done has led me to this point.
Right.
Right. And, it's not to lay blame, but it's actually to empower and take responsibility. So the more you take responsibility for what you put in and on your body, the more you take responsibility for properly exercising your body, which is absolutely necessary for proper circulation, especially as you age. The more you're honest with yourself about how you manage your emotions and your relationship with stress. And then on top of that, when you add in these supplements from Pure Health, what you have is transformation.
Right.
Right. Like you can take the supplements on their own and they'll have a positive effect. But if what you want is real transformation, you put the whole package together.
Yeah, that's amazing stuff. Dr. Clark, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it. And those great health supplements that you can get, make sure you reach out to purehealthresearch.com. Head over there, purehealthresearch.com. You can find out more information about those 45 great products. Some of them the doctor talked about right here tonight. For the next 48 hours, you'll also save 35% on your order by using code 6B. So make sure you do that. You're protected by a 365-day money-back guarantee, so it risks you nothing to try. And again, it's an incredible 35% discount for the next 48 hours. Go to purehealthresearch.com. That's purehealthresearch.com. And save 35% with the order code 6B. Dr. Clark, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me. Have a great night.
You too. And again, great advice, especially as we all, and you know, Vin, I know you're a little older than all of us. But
he's spot on.
Hey, you know what? You start that at any time in your life. Yeah. You're gonna start to feel better, and it's better to make that become a habit earlier than later.
No, that's right, and also the whole discussion about sugar, which is one of my biggest vices. By the way, every time I hear it, I'm just like, please, Vin, stop.
I know, and I just had some of that candy that Sherry Merrill sent over.
I mean, it's so hard, but it's so true, and especially processed sugar. You know what I started putting in my coffee is organic maple syrup instead of sugar. It's not, the best thing, but it's better than white powdered sugar.
I use raw natural honey is also a good sweet.
Oh, okay. Right.
Really
honey definitely is good for you.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to wean off sugar.
Well, sounds good.
Said he was 70 years old, the gentleman, right? Did he say he was 70?
Yeah, I think.
I thought he said he was 70.
I think he was joking.
He might
was he? Okay, maybe he was.
He might have been
looked
joking.
a little like Sting.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
not 70.
All right. We'll continue this a little bit later. Let's do some sports real quick with Slick Rick. Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com. Slick, what do you got?
Well, sticking with a healthcare theme, here's something you don't hear too much about anymore, but it was something very big at one time, and that would be former White Sox prospect says COVID vaccine blacklist threat ended his career. This is Isaiah Carranza. Wow. Was the 12th round pick in 2018 who claims he developed nervous system disorder after getting Pfizer shots. Ian Miller of Outkick reporting. It's easily forgotten now, years removed, but for much of 2021, organizations and corporations devoted most of their energies into forcing employees to get COVID vaccines, all based on disinformation from the CDC, Anthony Fauci, the public health bureaucracy, and a large willing group of media partners. Despite learning almost immediately that COVID-19 vaccination was completely ineffective at preventing transmission and infection, politicians and executives refused to accept the science and data, preferring instead to rely on those with credentials who had already proven themselves to be incompetent. That's an understatement. These decisions had enormous consequences for millions of people who were coerced into getting vaccine they didn't want. For some, it created a lifelong distrust of medical authorities. For others, it meant losing their jobs, their careers, military positions, or educational opportunities. And for some others, it meant taking on potential side effects, the consequences of which far outweighed those of getting COVID, all while doing nothing to prevent getting COVID regardless. One such example is Chicago White Sox prospect who's suing the organization for allegedly pushing him to get vaccinated. The Chicago Sun-Times reported this week that a former White Sox pitching prospect, Isaiah Carranza, has filed a lawsuit against the organization saying he was pushed into getting COVID he didn't want. Carranza was a 12th round pick in 2018 and alleges that he was told that he'd be blacklisted within the team if he didn't get the full vaccination series. Remember, you had to get the whole, this shot, that shot, right. And anyway, according to his suit, his team implied that he wouldn't be released to try to join another team and would have no prospects of moving up towards Major League Baseball. Under that pressure, Carranza did get 2 doses of the Pfizer mRNA vaccine, and his attorney says in the lawsuit, shortly had extreme dizziness, nausea, near fainting, and wildly fluctuating heart rate. The suit claims that the team blamed those symptoms on rookie nerves, imagine, along dehydration and anxiety. His lawyer also says Carranza eventually was diagnosed with a nervous system disorder that the suit claims is connected to Pfizer's COVID vaccine. Carranza was stuck in a high A, never playing again after 2022. And the lawsuit is just about his medical expenses, $557,000. So he's not looking to kill him. He just wants to get reimbursed for what his expenses were. And he lost a baseball career, all likelihood for that. Terrible.
Yeah. Terrible stuff.
And that's a wrap.
All right. That's a wrap on sports. We'll take a quick break, come back with the final segment of the show. Fast-moving show on a Tuesday night. We'll do one more update in the search for Nancy Guthrie. And Vin's got some news to close us out live from Studio 6B. Real America's Voice on a Tuesday. Stay there. appears to proceed the moment Epstein was officially... All right, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice, Tuesday night, final segment of a fast-moving show. Lots of updates. You know what? One more quick update on this Nancy Guthrie search as the FBI, earlier today released that video. Then we saw Bitcoin activity account tied to the account that was listed for the ransom. Then about 45 minutes ago, we announced the FBI's elite hostage rescue team shows up in Tucson. And then a few minutes ago, person detained in relation to Nancy Guthrie case, according to sources. A little coincidental that the hostage rescue team is there.
Yep.
And now somebody is being detained.
Yeah.
What this means, I don't know, but that's why we're here to speculate.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
Coming on the show.
I'll get out over my skis. I don't care.
Yeah. Coming on the show, Aaron had said there was a potential arrest coming up, and sure enough, that I guess. Well, they didn't make an arrest; they detained him, but that's the next best thing, right? Wow.
Yeah. A lot unfolding tonight, so we'll see what happens. Vin, you've got some news I know we haven't gotten to tonight because we've been jumping around like crazy. Let's see real quick. Hold on a sec. I think I got another update here from the investigation from our news desk. Several news outlets received a supposed ransom note last week, blah, 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 blah. I don't know why I was sent this. It looked like it was breaking news. From 7 minutes ago. It says one of them, KGUN, a Tucson television station, said tonight, I guess, that the wallet had received a payment from somebody. That payment, the station said, was less than $300. It remains unclear whether the person who sent the ransom demand is actually connected to the abduction. So there was money or Bitcoin sent to that account, but it was only about $300. So it could have been a fake.
It could have been a test of the system too to get a reaction, which is what makes the most sense to me.
Right, to see if people were monitoring it.
Wow.
Like, hey, send me $300 and see if anybody.
Just send $300. Poke the account, see what happens.
Right, and if the police, are activated, that means they can see what's going on. Could be.
Could be.
Wow. We'll see. Well, thank you for that update.
No, thank you.
Newsroom.
Yeah.
Real quick, Vinnie Mac, what do you got else on your plate?
I have two stories that I wanted to cover here. One, just briefly, and we all remember how horrible those fires were in Los Angeles and how unprepared Los Angeles was and what a pompous idiot the mayor was about all of that, Karen Bass. How she got elected? Well, I know how she got elected because they're all left-wing progressive crazy in Los Angeles. They elect these incompetents. Anyhow, a report came out on all of that. I don't know if you saw any of this information. It came out late last week, but I thought it was worth mentioning. And it turns out she manipulated the report. They whitewashed the whole thing.
This one's been a piece of work.
So that the culpability and all the stuff that they are very culpable of aren't. I mean, how dumb do they think we are? And especially those residents. Those residents know how bad their government really is, how incompetent they are, how terrible they are in a disaster, especially. And then they try to cover it up by creating this fake report. And she got busted. They try to minimize all the failings of the administration and all that kind of stuff. I have lots of friends that lost homes there. I know a lot of people there that are complete left-wing nuts. I get, abused by some of them over the years, and they're seeing the reality of Gavin Newsom and this terrible, terrible mayor, Karen Bass. So I just wanted to point that out. But the real story I wanted to talk about.
Hold on a sec, because you just made a point there of saying you know a lot of the people that have lost their homes.
Yeah.
How did they how did they feel about now finding out that, hey, this person who they think is on their side is actually out against them?
They're calling BS on it. They legitimately are. These are far left progressive people that I know, like Doug. Okay, the equivalent.
So he doesn't believe that she whitewashed it.
They believe she did, and they also believe that they were unprepared. They also are fighting through all the all the things they need to do to get their homes rebuilt, getting all the approvals and all that, and all the permitting and everything. They're going through those horrific times trying to get that. They they understand that's all very real. You know, you remember when Trump was there.
Yeah.
And she was like, we're going to expedite, expedite. The only guy that expedited anything was Donald Trump. He expedited water. He expedited all sorts of things to enable them to recover. And these are just terrible leaders. They should never be in office running anything. So if there's any lesson to my friends there on the West Coast, don't elect these people anymore. You're doing it to yourself.
Yeah.
You can't blame them. You're no longer allowed to blame the mayor and Gavin Newsom. You elected these people. They were incompetent going in. You should see this. Just because you hate Trump or Republicans doesn't mean they're not capable of running things.
Right.
The guy that should have run.
Yeah.
His entire property in Pacific Palisades, he owns a mall and everything, untouched. Why? Because he went in, he brought his volunteer fire department right there. They fought the fires off. He had water. He knew this was a disaster.
Yeah.
If he was in office, I guarantee you this town would not have burned down, and all those houses wouldn't have burned down.
Yeah. So to Doug and all your other friends, as Dan Bongino would say, this is what you voted for, and you're getting it good and hard.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully people start to wake up, especially in California, especially in that pocket. That's the Hollywood pocket. But I do want to talk healthcare because we had a guest on that was talking about supplements and RFK was on TV recently talking about outcome-oriented healthcare. Now, he talked about two very specific areas, two areas that are just so overlooked and outrageous in our country: rehab and mental illness. And what he's basically saying is when you go into rehab, for example, and you relapse, they charge you twice as much when you go in for recovery again. And he's like, that's not how it should be, and I want to change that. They should be working off of results. They failed. The rehab wasn't successful. Yep. They should be on a results-oriented. And mental illness, too. They're treating mental illness. They're not curing it. They're just getting you to get through the day, I guess, in some way, which isn't a bad thing. Right. Some people really suffer and can't get through. But this whole idea of results-oriented healthcare, I mean, that's what everything we do in life is results-oriented.
Right.
You know, it's not, well, let's camouflage the problem here for 2 months and then you'll come back and see me again. Results-oriented in healthcare changes the entire healthcare paradigm in this country, from pharmaceuticals to over-the-counter drugs to doctors and how they operate. It's not just, hey, Delgado, I'll take some antibiotics, man. Yeah, you'll be okay. Just go do that.
Right.
It's not outcome oriented. So he talked a lot about this. I thought it was worth noting because people give RFK a hard time. They make it seem like he's on the fringe. He's on the fringe of nothing. He's actually on the opposite of on the fringe. He actually has common sense.
Yeah, it's better that he's not a doctor.
It's completely better. Because objective.
Yeah, exactly.
He's saying things that an average normal person with common sense would look at this problem and say, well, are you curing anything? Are the results being made? Because you're charging me a lot of money for all of this. Now, there is a lot of healthcare that does get results.
That's like a bullet train in California.
Wow, wonderful train.
Are we getting anything? Have you laid any track?
Yeah.
No.
Not from Mr. Newscomb.
Nope.
Yeah, so I thought that was worth noting. And anywhere I could point out RFK and what he's doing a great job in my view. And he's misunderstood. I want to shout it out. So well done, RFK.
All right. Well, thank you, Vin. Hey, real quick, I got one more piece of Nancy Guthrie news. I know we reported that a person of interest, a person has been detained in connection with the Nancy Guthrie abduction. Now, this is coming from ABC News. A law enforcement official briefed on the investigation said that the individual detained is in a location south of Tucson. So not in Tucson. Not in the immediate area, but south of Tucson, according to the source, and they're preparing a search of the location associated with that individual. Wow, it's unfolding. We could have something by morning. Anyhow, as always, we thank you for watching, and we salute our military, active and retired, our first responders, EMTs, firefighters, police, ICE agents, Border Patrol, everybody working the front lines. Thank you so much for what you do. Thank you to Aaron and Fran. Thank you to Slick Rick and his boot. Ooh. Vinny Mac, Vinny Buta in the studio. Everybody in the chats, thank you so much. And, of course, everybody watching at home, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a safe night. Have a great day tomorrow. We will see you tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Wednesday night for another edition. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Peace.
Real America's Voice is growing, and now it's all in one place. Introducing the new and improved RAV app, built for access, community, and choice, not paywalls. Here's the key. RAV is still free to watch. No sign-in, no membership required. Your favorite live streams, breaking coverage, and video on demand are all right there. Free, just like always.
For the War Room Posse, we have to be a force multiplier on this. We have to stick the landing.
In the White House, in the Oval Office, you're crushing it, my friend.
And if you want more, the members section is your backstage pass. Get exclusive behind-the-scenes photos and videos, insider moments from the studio and the field, and early access to new content before it goes public. Members